Good afternoon, students. Today we will continue the previous classes of partial derivatives. In this class, we will mainly concentrate on the applications of partial derivative in real life problems. So basically, the concept of partial derivatives is used everywhere in real life. For describing any gas law or equation, the concept of partial derivative may be used. So for this, today we will start the application of partial derivatives with the help of an engineering example. That is the application of partial derivatives in engineering based problems. So for that, we have to take the ideal gas law and the Redlich-Kwong equation. So we all know about the ideal gas law, and very important law regarding the chemical engineering background. So introduction, in chemical engineering, it is often necessary to be able to equate the relation between pressure, temperature and volume of a gas, and that relation can be denoted by the can be represented by the ideal gas law, which is nothing but equal to PV equal to nRT, where P is the pressure, V is the volume, N is the number of moles of a gas, T is the temperature, and R is the ideal gas constant, having the value 8.314 joule per mole per Kelvin when all quantities are in SI units. So this ideal gas law has been in use since 1834, but before that and law at constant temperature, which is known as Boyle's law, established in 1662, and at constant pressure, one more law that is known as Church's law, which is established in 1787, had been in use many decades previously. So while the ideal gas law is adequate in many circumstances, it has been superseded by many other laws, where in general simplicity is weighted against accuracy. One such law is the Redlich-Kwong equation, which is demonstrated by equation number 2, which is given by P equal to RT by V minus B minus A by root over T V whole into V plus P. So when you compare 1 and 2, equation 1 and 2, two extra constants, that is variables, we have shown, it is shown in both in comparing 1 and 2, and that is nothing but the parameters A and B, which are dependent upon the particular gas under consideration. Clearly in both equations, the temperature, pressure and volume will be positive. Additionally, the Redlich-Kwong equation is only valid for values of volume greater than the parameter V. In practice, however, this is not a limitation, since the gas would condense to a liquid before this point was reached. So from these two laws, a problem is occurring in words, and that is nothing but we have to show from both equation 1 and 2, that is from both the ideal gas law and the Redlich-Kwong equation. Number A, for constant temperature the pressure decreases as the volume increases. That means the pressure is inversely proportional to the volume for constant temperature. The note is, in the Redlich-Kwong equation, assume that T is large, that is the temperature is assumed to be very large in the Redlich-Kwong equation. Number B demonstrates what? For constant volume the pressure increases as the temperature increases. That is, number B demonstrates that the pressure is directly proportional to the temperature at constant volume. So what is the mathematical statement of the problem? So the mathematical statement is, in terms of partial derivatives, we may represent for both equation 1 and 2 and for the allowed ranges of the variables, we have to show that the rate of change of pressure with respect to the volume is less than 0 for constant temperature, and V represents what the rate of change of pressure with respect to time, temperature is greater than 0 for constant volume. So here we have to assume the temperature is sufficiently large so that the terms in T to the power minus half, that is root over T, 1 by root over T is T to the minus half, may be neglected when compared to terms in T, that is in temperature. So what is the mathematical analysis of this problem? So for the ideal gas law, the law is rearranged as P is equals to nRT by P, so that at constant temperature, what is del P by del V? That is del V of P. So del V of P means what? We have to take the partial derivative of P with respect to V, keeping other parameters, that is nRT as constant. So del V of P equal to nRT, all are constant, so it should be coming outside. Then del V of 1 by V is nothing but minus 1 by V square. So by putting, we will have del P by del V equal to minus nRT by V square. That is clearly less than 0 for all quantities are positive. Already we have stated that the variables in both ideal gas law and the Redlich-Kwong equation, the variables are taken to be positive. So the partial derivative of P with respect to V is negative for all cases. So clearly the partial derivative concept is used here to demonstrate the result. Then number 2 condition is what? For constant volume, we have to take the partial derivative of P with respect to T, and in that case the other variables, that is N, R and V, are taken to be constant. So NR by V is taking outside, the del T of capital T is 1, so remaining NR by V, which is always greater than 0, as all the quantities N, R and T are always positive. Then for Redlich-Kwong equation, which is given by P equal to RT by V minus V minus A by root over T V, whole thing into V plus V. So that can be written as RT into V minus V whole thing to the power minus 1 and minus A T to the power minus half into V square plus VV to the power minus 1. So that at constant temperature, the partial derivative of P with respect to V we can calculate. RT is constant, so the chain reaction is used over here. So del V of V minus V to the power minus 1 equal to minus 1 into V minus V to the power minus 2. That is ultimately minus RT by V minus V whole to the power minus 2. Plus will come over here because this del V of V square plus VV to the power minus 1 equals to minus 1, that is minus minus plus, into V square plus VV to the power minus 2 dot, again you have to take the partial derivative of this function, that is twice V plus 1, sorry V. So which for last T can be approximated by del P by del V equal to minus RT by V minus V square. That is for last T, the second term of the right hand side of del P del V is almost negligible to be 0. So minus RT by V minus V square is less than 0 as all quantities are positive. Then for constant volume, del P del T is equals to del P del T means what? Partial derivative of P with respect to T, that is others are constant. So R V minus V to the power minus 1 plus will come here, half A to the power A T to the power minus 3 by 2 T square plus VV whole to the power minus 1, which is clearly greater than 0 as all the quantities are positive and T is, that is temperature, is assumed to be large. Now from this what can we interpret? So in practice the restriction on T is not severe and regions in which del P by del V is less than 0 does not apply are those in which the gas is close to liquefying, and therefore the entire Redlich-Kwong equation no longer applies. So this is the physical interpretation we can make from the above question with the help of partial derivatives. So based on that, we I have given the exercise. So most of the questions and the type of the questions I have already discussed in the examples for partial derivative. For question number 1, simply the functions are given. You have to find the second order partial derivative of f with respect to x, y, mixed derivative. Then in question number 2, it's very simple. Answers are also given. So it is clearly, I just elaborate the first example. 1a f of x y is there. So del f del x is what? Del f del x is 1. So del square f del x square is 0. This is 0. And for the same function, del square f del y square is del f del y is 2. So del square f del y square is that is 0. Similarly, 0 is occurring for del square f del x del y, del square f del y del x. So it is clearly then question number 3 it is discussed. I think question number 3 it is seen that for the following functions find del f del x, simple del f del x and del square f del x del t. That is with the variable x, here another variable is considered and which is nothing to be t. So del f del x is what? Partial derivative of f with respect to x keeping t is constant. So del f del x is equals to you have to take the u into v rule. So sin tx plus xt cos tx plus twice xt. Similarly, del f del y, del square of del t del x is given by twice x cos tx minus x square t sin tx plus twice x. So these are the basic some examples in this part. So the students, please try to find out the solutions of these questions. So with this, we will conclude today's class. So with these 4 classes, the concepts of partial derivatives is almost done. So next class we will discuss about some more types of partial derivatives with their applications. Thank you.